In a city where wealth speaks louder than blood, power wears a smile, and cruelty wears pearls. Eleanor, sharply and coldly to Aisha, "Keep your filthy hands off my son's silverware, girl." This is life inside the Faulkner penthouse, the empire of Eleanor Faulkner. Eleanor Faulkner, elegant, ruthless, the queen of a glass empire. And Aisha, the woman she despised, the silent storm she could never predict. Eleanor's manicured nails sink into Aisha's wrist. The glass slips, shattering into 1,000 glittering shards across the marble floor. Eleanor coldly, "That set costs more than your entire bloodline. Pick it up, on your knees." Blood beads on her palm. The maids and drivers stand frozen, heads bowed. No one dares interfere. Aisha knelt, not out of weakness, but calculation, because above the fridge, a red light blinked, recording everything. Every morning in the Faulkner penthouse began the same way, with fear. Eleanor sniffing. "This omelet tastes ethnic. Too much pepper. Are you trying to poison me?" To the housekeeper, "This isn't a hotel, Martha. Wipe that smile off before I fire you." Her voice dripped with poison, the kind that kills self-worth in silence. Aisha gracefully and calm, "Good morning, mother." Eleanor mocking, her eyes narrow, "Don't mother me. I told Marcus he married beneath him, and he didn't listen. Poor boy, soft heart, easily swayed." "Marcus is kind. That's not weakness," Aisha says softly and smiling. Eleanor snaps, "It's stupidity. If he had sense, he'd put his name on everything before some African witch ruins his legacy." But Aisha smiled, the way queens do before they conquer. The maids flinch. The driver looks away. Aisha's smile doesn't fade. "Would you like me to prepare your tea?" Eleanor smirks. "Yes, kneel when you serve it." Marcus Faulkner, tall, polished, Harvard smile, CEO, billionaire, and prisoner of his mother's approval, flips through documents while his phone buzzes nonstop. Marcus tired. "Mom called HR again? For what?" Assistant, hesitant. "She, fired 2 receptionists, said they looked at her the wrong way." Marcus sighing. "God, not again." He loved Aisha deeply, but when it came to his mother, his heart and his spine melted into one. That night he returns home to Eleanor bragging, "I'm helping you, darling. Your staff are lazy." Aisha gently, "Marcus, your employees are terrified. Marcus interrupting, softly, "Babe, please, not tonight. You know how she gets." Aisha stares at him, disappointment flickering in her eyes. "You always say that. When will you stop letting her get away with it?" Marcus looks at the floor. "She's my mother." Silence became Aisha's only weapon, and silence, when wielded by the wise, cuts deeper than any sword. Apex Villa Holdings, a cathedral of glass and ambition. Eleanor Faulkner strides through the lobby, barking orders like a CEO. Then she storms into Marcus's office in diamonds and disdain. Eleanor commanding, "Marcus, make me a shareholder, officially, before that woman ruins you." Marcus hesitant, It's not that simple, Mom." Eleanor snapping, "Are you a man or her puppet? Sign it." Aisha walks in mid-conversation, calm, elegant. Aisha softly and composed. "If it makes her feel safer, Marcus, give her what she wants." Eleanor smirks. Finally, some sense. Aisha, "You have your shares by tomorrow, Mrs. Faulkner." Eleanor smiled, like a snake tasting milk. She didn't know the glass of milk was poisoned, legally, financially, perfectly documented. This was it, the moment the lioness stopped pretending to be a lamb. Executors murmur, Eleanor enters in pearls and pride. Marcus follows nervously. Aisha, in a sleek, elegant dress, sits at the head of the table. Eleanor confidently, "Let's begin. I believe today's agenda includes my official share transfer. Aisha steady. Yes, everything you asked for. She slid the folder across the table. Eleanor flips it open, eyes scanning, then her face freezes. The header read, CEO Aisha Faulner. Eleanor shocked. What is this? Marcus, what is she? Her voice cracked like thin glass under pressure, every illusion shattered in one glance. Aisha calmly and firmly. You thought Apex belonged to your son. I founded it. I built it from scratch. Marcus is my partner, not my founder. And I own every patent, every division, every dollar. The boardroom goes silent. Cameras flash. Eleanor slams her hand on the table furiously. You liar. You tricked us. You tricked my son. You think you can humiliate me. Aisha coldly. No, Eleanor. You did that yourself. The queen had been dethroned, not by rage, but by reason. Aisha didn't flinch. She simply slid another document forward, signed, sealed, irrevocable. Aisha, you are no longer a board member. Your access is revoked. Your era ends today. She gestures toward the door. 2 security officers appear. Your access to the company, residence, and accounts has been revoked. Eleanor screaming, you can't do this to me. I'm your family. Aisha meets her gaze coldly. Family doesn't destroy. Family doesn't demean. You never wanted a daughter. You wanted a servant. Eleanor lunges. Marcus catches her. She collapses. Aisha quietly but powerfully. I warned you. Never mistake kindness for weakness. They say when pride falls, it makes no sound. It simply disappears into the rain. Eleanor Faulner stood outside Apex Tower, drenched, broken, forgotten. Her pearls rolled into the gutter, the last symbols of a fading crown. She looks up at the Apex Villa Tower, the company she thought her son owned. Through the glass, Aisha and Marcus stand together, side by side. He's crying, realizing the depth of the woman he married and the blindness of the mother he obeyed. She'll be okay. Sometimes life has to strip us to teach us. Aisha says gently. Marcus, soft and emotional. You still have a good heart. Aisha firmly. Good doesn't mean foolish. Marcus, she's still my mother. Aisha, and I'm still her lesson. Forgiveness is noble, but some storms must finish their work. Power doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it wears a smile. And when the world mistakes your silence for weakness, remember, lions don't explain their roar. Never underestimate the quiet ones. Respect is not owed to race, gender, or class. It's earned through character. When pride blinds us, truth becomes the storm that strips us bare. Every act of pride eventually meets its day of truth. If you felt this story, like, share, and subscribe for more powerful tales that touch the soul. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss the next story. Comment in the comments, do you believe pride always leads to downfall? See you in the next story, where life teaches its lessons, one tale at a time.